Whatever you do, don't stay on a sealed train platform after the last service leaves. There's a reason railway workers refuse to talk about certain stations after dark. Welcome to Tales Beyond the Flame. In the late 1990s, a coastal rail line in Australia had a reputation for being completely dead after midnight. Once the final train passed through, the stations were locked down, lights dimmed, and every platform was meant to be empty until morning. No passengers, no staff, no exceptions. But over time, workers started reporting something that didn't fit into any safety report or official explanation. A figure. Always alone. Always still. And always in places that were supposed to be completely inaccessible. At first, it was dismissed as fatigue. Night shift plays tricks on people. Long hours, poor lighting, isolation. It was easy to explain away a single sighting, but then the sightings started repeating. A cleaner working late claimed she saw a man standing at the far end of a sealed platform during her final inspection. She assumed it was a trespasser and turned her torch toward him. He didn't react. She looked away for less than a second to adjust her light. When she looked back, he was closer. Not walking, not running, just closer. She left the job within 2 weeks. A bus driver later reported seeing someone under a broken station light while passing on an overpass. He didn't think much of it until he realized something strange. The man wasn't looking at the tracks. He was looking directly at the moving bus, even though they were far apart. Even though the station was supposed to be empty. Security footage from both incidents showed nothing. Empty platforms, flickering lights, no movement at all. That's when staff started calling him something unofficial, the platform man. Most people treated it like a joke. The kind of story every transport network develops when people spend too much time working night shifts in empty infrastructure. Until a maintenance run changed everything. It was just after 1 a.m. A routine inspection train was moving slowly through the outer line. On board were 3 people, the driver, a track inspector, and a trainee. Everything was normal until they approached a station that has been officially closed for renovations. The trainee saw it first, a figure standing on the platform. The train slowed automatically. No one spoke at first. The inspector assumed it was a trespasser or someone who had slipped through fencing. But the longer they looked, the more wrong it felt. He wasn't pacing. He wasn't hiding. He was standing directly under the station light, completely still. The train came to a stop a short distance away, and for the first time they could see him clearly. That's when the inspector made a decision that would later be written in an internal report no one likes to talk about. He stepped off the train. The moment the inspector stepped onto the platform, everything felt wrong in a way he couldn't immediately explain. No wind, no distant traffic, no ambient noise from the city beyond the tracks, just the hum of electrical lighting and the weight of silence that felt too controlled to be natural. The man hadn't moved. The inspector walked closer. At 10 meters, he called out. No response. At 5 meters, again. Still nothing. At 3 meters, he noticed something that made him hesitate completely. The man's shadow didn't align properly with the overhead light. It was slightly offset, like it wasn't responding in real time. The inspector stopped walking. The man turned his head instantly, not gradually, not naturally. It snapped into position like a discontinuous motion, and then he spoke. "You're early tonight." The inspector immediately backed away, calling for the train. At the same moment, the station lights began to flicker in a pattern that wasn't random. It was rhythmic, controlled, like something was syncing to a timing cycle that didn't belong to them. As the inspector reached the train door, the man was closer again. Not walking, not running, just closer than before. The driver slammed the door shut and prepared to leave. But before the train could move, the radio cut out. Static filled the cabin, then silence. And through the windshield, all three men saw something that didn't make sense. The man was still on the platform, but he was also in the reflection of the glass, standing inside the reflection layer, looking directly at them. The driver accelerated immediately, breaking protocol, and pulled the train out of the station at speed. When they reached the next stop, they reported everything. The investigation the next morning found nothing unusual at the station. No footprints, no sign of entry, no damage. But the train's internal log recorded a timestamp anomaly. At exactly 1:12 a.m., the system drifted forward by 47 seconds and then corrected itself, as if something had briefly interrupted timekeeping itself. The trainee resigned within weeks. The inspector refused further interviews. The driver stayed in service, but never worked that line again. Over the following years, similar reports appeared in other cities. Always late-night stations. Always sealed or empty platforms. Always a single figure standing where no one should be. Most were dismissed. Some were never properly investigated. But the original case remained different, because multiple witnesses saw the same impossible details, and a system log confirmed that something, at least for 47 seconds, did not behave normally. The most unsettling part wasn't that they saw him, it was that he spoke like he already understood they were going to arrive. You're early tonight. Before tonight's story ends, I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video and want more dark mysteries, creepy encounters, and unsettling stories like this one, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next upload. And if there's a type of story you'd like to hear next, leave a comment below. Whether it's true horror, missing person cases, cryptid encounters, park ranger stories, strange rules stories, haunted locations, or something completely different, I read your suggestions. Your comments help shape future videos on this channel. So subscribe, leave your idea below, and I might turn it into the next story told here, Beyond the Flame.